Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? Normally I do a product review on Thursdays or a technical video. Sorry, my camera's all screwed up. Today I'm not going to do that this Thursday. I'm going to do a different subject. And I'm doing this because I think this is really relevant for all of us going into 2024. And I think it's just a smart way to look at things. Doggone it, this thing. Anyway, all right, so, if the roaming prepper's a little twerk or a little crooked, that's all right. So this week, we are second week of January 2023. The forecast, the northern states, like anyone basically north of like Oklahoma, just got hammered. Snow, little tornadoes, ice, accidents, all sorts of fun stuff. Just got a forecast that the southern states are going to get it, specifically Texas, where the jet stream dips, and it usually dips into like the tip of Texas. No, it's going to hit all of Texas. So what we're looking at this week, this coming weekend actually, is going to be a scenario where we're going to have teen digits, and then with wind chill factored in, and it's windy as shit out in West Texas. We're going into the low single digits, possibly negative. This is the same scenario that happened during the Texas blackout. Now, the big difference is the precipitation, as of this moment, is not predicted to be as bad. So what really screwed us in 21 was you had rain, snow, icy sleet shit, then it froze, then it thawed just enough to get into stuff, and then froze again. And what you wound up with was this ice and snow devil lasagna all over the roads. The water got into the wind farms, got into some other equipment, and then refroze inside the equipment, which is why we had wind, solar, natural gas all go down at the same time. And then the grid lines, there was a lot of moving parts, but part of the big problem was that precipitation, that freezing stuff that gummed everything up. Not expecting it, but we will get the cold. So a couple of things I'm doing, because that's not a normal situation for Texas. We're too far south. Now you're up in Michigan and the Dakotas is different. So what are we looking at? What are we looking at as far as how we're going to manage it? Well, what I'm going to do, obviously I know my home is our, hold on a second here. Our home is well insulated. Sorry, somebody's texting me right now. Home is well insulated. Windows are, weatherized windows. They're double pane. They're insulated. So what I've already done, Jackery's already charged. I'm going to pull my generator, get it started. My son and his wife and the granddaughter are with us right now. So I'm going to show my son how to pull the generator, set it up, make sure we have fuel. Going to fill up those gas tanks, not just in the truck, but also the spare gas tanks, or at least make sure they're topped off. I think I have enough gas to run the generator for a bit. Now, in that much cold, I'm not going to run the generator the whole time. I'm going to run it enough to refreeze food and to maybe charge up anything we need and then shut it off. So step one, I'm going to pull the generator, check oil, check fuel, turn it over, let it run for a bit, make sure it's doing what it's supposed to do, shut it off, let it cool, put it back in the shed, done. I have two types of gas stoves aside from my gas stove. One's a propane, one's a butane. I'm going to pull both of those out, check them for function, make sure I have fuel, stow them, cool them, stow them, put them away, done. I'm going to double check the batteries in the flashlights in the vehicles as well as around the house as best as I can. Remember, I have like 500 flashlights scattered everywhere, so I'm sure I'm going to miss a few. Make sure we have flashlights. If we get a blackout, we're not tripping and falling over ourselves. Make sure my pets have some food. Right now, I know I have about a 2-month supply of dog food, so I'm not stressed about my dogs. Also want to make sure I got, usual stuff, canned meats, water, blah, blah, blah. You guys know the routine. Something else I'm going to do, make sure my sprinkler is off. I don't want the sprinklers going off and I'm going to forget about them, and then they're going to freeze my lines and bust my sprinkler lines in the front. That's not a tragedy for me, but it's going to be a pain in the ass when it thaws. So I'm going to turn those off, leave them off, and let that run its course that way. Also going to pull my cold weather gear. Now, because we just made a trip to Flagstaff, we went to Arizona, we went to New Mexico in the mountains, we updated our boots, we updated our winter gear, which again, not a thing in Texas, but we went up there, so we bought new stuff. So I already know we have some winter clothing. I want to make sure my kids, my son and his wife have winter clothing as well. Want to make sure that we clear the yard, make sure nothing frosts over. We're going to get a windstorm, so I'm going to want to secure everything that is loose in the yard, because what I don't want is something blows into my back window, blows out the window, and I have a big gaping hole in the back of my house. I don't want to deal with that. I'm going to also check the tire pressure on my car. I'm going to check the tire pressure on the wife's car. I'm going to top off both tanks, make sure those are done. Other than that, I'm going to watch the weather. I've been in touch with my safety guy, because I don't only work in the office, I do field visits. Canceling the field visits unless they're absolutely job necessary. Everything else I'm going to do on Teams, I'm going to do remotely until, this front passes through. It's important. This is another example of situational awareness. Now, normally when preppers and homesteaders, we talk about situational awareness, we're talking about walking on the street, not getting mugged, being aware of, price fluctuations and supply chain. But being aware of nature is important. We can't control nature. Now, some of us will speculate that governments, and we know they can to an extent, can affect weather. And yes, they do. But in a general sense, storm fronts come in. They've been doing that throughout history. So understanding what could hit you gives you an excuse to go and make those preparations ahead of time. So again, this year, 2024, I said it's not going to be a year of freaking out, a year of headaches, a year of panic, a year of death. Hypothetically, in the terms of the content. Instead, let's be pragmatic. Let's be practical. What do we need to do to make ready for this? Now, in doing all of the things I just mentioned, checking the stoves, checking the propane lanterns, checking the flashlights, making sure the vehicles are full, I'm also, in a general sense, preparing for whatever else may happen, whether it's the aliens from the Florida Mall show up in West Texas, or, Godzilla runs around, or, Red Dawn, whatever, take your pick. The preps for the weather apply to a lot of other stuff. Also, if you're expecting weather, you may get snowed in, especially those of you who are north of Texas. You will get precipitation, quite a bit, some of you. Do you need meds? Do you need food? Do you need anything else? I would also recommend get your laundry done sooner than later. Do your dishes sooner than later. Have everything done so that in the event you lose power, you lose water, you lose whatever the hell else, or you can't get to a store, not a big deal, right? Ultimately, this is the kind of stuff we should prep for, right? This is the happens all the time kind of shit that we need to understand. But in any case, folks, that's my checklist for tonight. That's going to be what I'm going to do. Stop playing with your phone, lady. You're going to drive right into my parked vehicle and piss me off. And she has a dash cam. I cannot people this month. I really can't. I told my buddies, me and my buddies were like, we're going to have a dry January. We're not going to drink this January because we drank too much in November and December. And I keep running into people like this, and then that's not helping my not drinking thing. Anyway, before I go on a rant about stupid people, the stuff I mentioned is pragmatic stuff for weather changes and also for hurricanes and floods. This is the kind of stuff that we should check on a regular basis anyway. So normally I would do it a couple of weeks from now by my own personal schedule. I'm just going to do it tonight and tomorrow night. The cold weather is still 4 days out. It may change in the next 4 days. They may say, oh, the weather pattern changed and went somewhere else. Great. No harm, no foul. I know my house is ready. So folks, there's going to be nasty weather. You do the same thing. Don't waste time. Don't dilly-dally. Just get it done. Do it calmly. Do it piece by piece. And that way, if things get frozen, if things turn off, if we have a problem, I'm not waiting in the store in 5-degree weather with wind with a bunch of other idiots who didn't prepare. If I'm going to the store, it's for something I may have missed, but it shouldn't be something catastrophic. So anyway, that's your video for Thursday. Like I said, I normally do a product review. Today, I thought I'd just refresh everyone on some pragmatic tips to get through a storm prep. In any case, guys, God bless, Godspeed, take care of yourselves. I will see you later on. And again, my schedule's all over the map this last couple of months, I know. But you take care of yourselves. We'll see you later. Bye.